Chuck Wiley left behind a 17-year career in the US military in objection to the conflict in Iraq. He arrived in Canada in January of 2007. Please welcome Chuck Wiley.
Before I tell you too much about me, I want to make a point. I saw something recently in the media that really bothered me. Some of you may have seen it. It was a statement, actually a written statement by the U.S. Ambassador to Canada. And basically what he said amounted to, we are not people of any consequence. He was specifically addressing U.S. war resistors that are in Canada right now. And he said, generally, we are people who are very young, early 20s, even younger. First tour in the military, usually under 2 years. And almost universally, the real reason that we left the military is not because of any political problem that we had or any political awareness that we had. It's because of some other issue that we're running from, and the military just happened to get in the way. Personally, I take a huge amount of offense at that statement. It just shows a complete lack of respect and a complete unwillingness to deal with the issues that are actually going on at an international scale. And it should speak volumes to everybody, not only in this country, but in that country. If an ambassador can't even honestly look at the issues that are going on, if he has to reduce it to something that trivial in order to be able to deal with it, that should worry everybody. I, for one, am not somebody who's in my first term in the military. One look at me should tell you I'm definitely not in my early 20s. I spent quite a few years, as Sarah told you, in the military. I didn't join because I have to, I joined because I wanted to. I believed everything about it. I actually thought these were the good guys, and I wanted to be on that team. I thought we were helping the world, whether they realized it or not. And that, you know, one day we would actually achieve the mission, we'd get there. Obviously, I woke up one day and I realized I was wrong. That happened to be about the middle of 2006, during a deployment to Iraq, specifically the Gulf region around it, one of many conflicts that we were supporting at the time. And I started to see things on a daily basis that bothered me more and more. I'm not going to get into too many details about it. Suffice it to say, like many of the other people that you've heard speaking, when I started to ask questions, I didn't get a good response, certainly not a satisfactory response. I learned very early on from a geography teacher of all people that I had in high school, that the truth is never afraid of honest inquiry, no matter where it leads you. He said it in a different context, but it's something that I found to be universally applicable. And when somebody reacts with fear and aggression, when you ask them exactly what the hell they're doing, that should be a big red flag to you. That something's not going on that should be going on. So, like the proverbial string at the bottom of the sweater, the more I pulled, the more upset I got, until finally I realized that I'm not one of the good guys. And that's a very hard realization to come to, especially when you've spent, I don't want to say wasted, so I'll say spent almost 2 decades of your life. And you think during that entire time that you're one of the good guys and that you're helping out. And you wake up one day and realize that you're not. And it gets even harder when you're told to stop asking questions and you have an entire group of people that are looking to you on a day-to-day basis for what the truth is. And you're told, regardless of what you believe, you need to keep your personal beliefs out of it because you can't discuss what you think is the truth with these people. Honestly, because the truth hurts retention. Right? If you try to explain to these kids that you don't really believe what we're doing, then they start to question it, and maybe not so many of them re-enlist anymore. So, to cut a long story short, push came to shove, I decided to leave. After doing some research on the web, getting in touch with these guys, the support campaign, I can tell you they've been indispensable, and I may not be here if they weren't here to help, because this isn't an easy thing to do by any means. I came north February of last year, been here almost a year now, and I gotta tell you, I love this place more every day. There are only a couple of things that I want to say before I get out of here. The decision pained me a lot then, it doesn't anymore. Now that I've seen what the alternatives are, now that I've seen what a democracy that actually functions and listens to its citizens is supposed to look like, I want to stay here. I love this place a lot. That doesn't mean that you've got a free path in front of you. None of us do. Some of you may have seen recently in the media, it didn't get as much, quite as much coverage as I thought it should. The Foreign Affairs Minister got a little upset recently. The Foreign Affairs Minister for Canada, right, your sitting government right now, ordered that a manual that was published for diplomatic training be rewritten. And he didn't order it to be rewritten because of any respect for the facts. It stated a few things in it. One of the things that was in it was a list of countries that are suspected of torture or mistreatment of prisoners. And somehow, somebody decided that the United States, among other countries, belonged on that list. So it ended up in the manual. And when the manual accidentally got released, what came out of that wasn't an objection because the manual was wrong. It was an objection because it pointed a finger at someone who's a political friend of the sitting government right now. That's why it's being rewritten. The people that are in charge and are calling the shots are not your friends in that respect. They're not looking right now at what you want. They're looking at what their big brother to the south wants. So you've got a chance today to explain to them again that this is not their country, it's your country. It's your voices. It's your voices that need to listen to. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Chuck, and to all of the resistors. We are so proud to have you in Canada.